transfer for picture.
All right, you ready, Lori?
Mhm. The lower chap to
The hair.
Baraclia, yes.
It's 7:05 PM. I call the August 15th, 2018 council meeting to order. Roll call.
Bennett,
Here.
Bertolo, Lane.
Here.
Mealy.
Here.
Sinning.
Here.
Woteki.
Here.
Matthews.
Here, please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Took a knee, that was good. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the annual schedule of regular meetings herefore adopted and posted on the public bulletin board at the municipal building, emailed to the Hawthorne Press, the Herald News, the Record, the Gazette, and all persons who requested the mailing of such schedule. And a copy of said schedules remained on file in the office of the Borough Clerk from and since December 7th, 2017. Approval of minutes. Can I have approval of the bid minutes for the downtown streetscape project rebid? Motion by Sinning,
So I merely.
second by Bennett. Any discussion? Roll call.
Woteki.
Yes, ma'am.
Sinning.
Yes.
Mealy.
Yes.
Lane.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Matthews.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Public comment. Now open the meeting to the public. If anyone desires to be heard, come forward to the microphone, state your name and address. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Lane, second by Sinning. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Adoption of ordinances, we have none this evening. Old business. Joe, we'll start your way.
Okay, Dr. Boswell, I mentioned about Cedar Avenue, and I did a walkthrough as per my conversation with Alex, and there is now water ponding at every apron.
Well, it's all on the punch list.
It is on the punch list?
It is.
All right, because he did pave over two out of three of the water blocks.
It's all being addressed, and you can walk it again with him before, as soon as he gets back, before we finalize the punch list.
He did say they were holding significant money down.
We are.
But after we had that rainfall, you should really honest, the amount of water that was retaining in everyone's apron was amazing.
We will address it.
I'm not an engineer, but I really think somebody needs to go there after a rain effect just to get a whole visual. If I had my phone, I would have taken pictures. It
No
was.
problem. We will do that.
Said I'm not an engineer, but I question what's on TV.
Look, I know that how hard Dr.
Joey, I'm
Boswell
just
works.
teasing you.
I just know that he can't be there at every rainfall.
Well, he should be.
Thanks, man.
Steve, don't be, Steve.
Doesn't rain in Arizona, does it?
We'll address it.
Okay. Anything else, Joe?
No, sir.
Gary?
Once again, they didn't pick up the garbage.
Yeah, I just got a message from my wife that our garbage wasn't picked up either.
If I could jump on that, I had 2 barrels of grass. They picked up one and left the other one.
That's not the garbage.
That's a different guy.
Well, it's still yard
No, it's
waste
Gator.
pickup.
That's gated, but, yeah, so it looks like the entire area wasn't picked up.
Well, they got the houses next door to me.
Oh, okay.
They just didn't get mine and the one across the street from me.
Yeah, it did get mine. I'm trying to find out from my wife whether the other neighbors
Like
have
5
picked
weeks
up.
in a row I've had these,
You're on the list, Gary.
with my tree.
Yeah, that's right.
Ay, ay, ay.
That's all.
Bruce?
Well, since Joe mentioned flooding, Eric, I told you there was some drains that needed to be cleaned out on Washington Ave, but they were totally clogged. It's in front of 67, so if you can give that to Director Scully and get someone over there to clean out the plants that are growing in the drain, it'll probably work better. That's it.
I'm okay.
Yes. Eric, Congress Textiles. I spoke with the mayor a while ago. I passed there just the other day. There's still a lot of cars in the fenced-in area, and the gate was open so that you could actually see right in. There's all kinds of old lawnmowers and other metal rubbish that's there. Could you just see if that can get cleaned up?
The cars are permitted.
I can't hear you, Herb.
The cars are permitted, if whatever, but the other stuff is definitely
Well, how many
not.
cars are permitted?
I don't think there's a number set by the planning board. don't think so, but we'll check.
Okay, please. And the other thing is, this afternoon I was behind a trailer that was parked on Utter Avenue, right in front of Structural. And I called the police, they sent the car right up, and I know they gave him a stern warning, but, I mean, and I appreciate the police going right up there. I mean, it was something. Also, with regard to what you were talking about before, they didn't pick up the grass on the Ray Avenue in some locations. I did call Maureen, and Maureen's working on it. She called me back today, and she said they'll probably pick it up tomorrow.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, the whole street, Eric.
and that's all I have on Old, Frank.
John, for structural, is that the Fifth Ave carpentry shop that you're talking about?
No, that's the concrete place.
Structural
Oh,
filtration.
down,
structure,
the mini
It
load?
was actually where old Marlowe Manufacturing was.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, not Marlowe. It was the glue place.
Old warehouse, right?
No, it's right on Utter Avenue.
Okay. Eric, I had a couple things I emailed you this afternoon. You know, obviously, the first one was the oldest one. Is there any input from the police department regarding a safety study for Utter and 11th, since that one homeowner's car was totaled by an
Yeah,
18-wheeler?
they've been monitoring that and looking at it. Basically, they say the best thing you could do to help traffic on 11th with the trucks is to prohibit it, but that likely just moves the traffic to the next street, So, I mean, that's something, I mean, it's not an easy solution, but, you know.
I mean, the folks on 11th are looking for some sort of relief, whether we shove them all down to Fifth Ave or, I mean, when they make that turn off of 208, I guess, to get through down 11th, sure, if you check with the police department, there's been a number of cars that get clipped every month.
Yeah, I remember years ago, we talked about a Chuck route, and we had in Chuck Silverstein, who's the county traffic engineer. And Lois Cuccinello was on the board at the time with me, and she said, "Chuck, can you give us a truck route?" He said, "Sure, just tell me which neighbors you want to upset." Because what happens is you develop a truck route, and then you're constantly putting trucks in front of that neighborhood all day long, because it's the only way they can go. So that's why I agree with Eric. If we solve 11th Avenue, then it becomes 10th Avenue's problem, the 9th Avenue's problem.
Well, we could at least route them to county roads. If you're coming off Ray, then go down to the next county roads. Are obviously made for higher speeds and more volume.
I think the next county road, though, is Lafayette.
Well, then that's the truck's problem, not the neighbor's problem.
I think what we did
We
talk
need to
about, though,
do
Frank,
something.
was
I don't know the answer.
extending the yellows at the stop sign so that to improve the turning radius. I thought that was something we discussed at the meeting, is that to make sure that these trucks have enough room where, you know, coming in the corners to make the turns without hitting a car.
What meeting are you referencing?
I thought it was at a council meeting we talked about that.
Well, if it was last meeting, then I
It
apologize.
could have been last meeting, I don't remember, Frank, but.
No.
that was not. But that was one of the discussions we had, I think. That was a question of visibility as well, as if you move the cars further back from the stop sign.
All good ideas, but obviously we sent it back to our professionals, our
Right,
police
and they're still
department to
working
say,
on it.
okay,
Right, they're
so the
still
answers are still
Yep.
pursued. That's
Progress.
fine, that's
Yeah.
fine. Also, my second item was, is there any communication with the Fifth Ave carpentry or cabinet shop where they're staging on Sixth Ave? Have
Yeah.
we talked to them and say,
Yes.
instruct your
The
deliverers?
police have spoken with them, and, you know, and they said that they would monitor deliveries better and communicate with their, you know, with the companies doing the deliveries. Police haven't heard any subsequent complaints. I guess, I mean, the problem is totally solved, but they haven't heard, you know, about that. They talked with them, they've been monitoring, and they think seems to be better, but these types of things, they get better, they get worse, they get
I would imagine whatever restriction or solution you come up for 11th would also be good for the rest of the numbered streets.
Right.
Obviously, Fifth Ave is a commercial street. Yes, there are residents on the one side, but that street was always made
See,
for,
the other concern,
commercial
which I don't know
traffic.
that we can control, is how the GPSs are sending them once they get off the highway. For example, you get off at Grandview Avenue on 208, it directs you to go up Ridgewood to make the left on Golf Hill rather than going on making the left and on the right onto Grandview and then the left. So they've seen an increase in traffic because that's what GPSs are telling them. Go straight onto Ridgewood Avenue, then make the left. So the GPSs may be telling you, maybe that's something you have to try, right? Saying, get off at 208, make a left onto 11.
Well, perhaps a sign that says no truck traffic
Well, that-
on numbered streets,
Right.
proceed to County Road, or, something like that.
Right.
Well, can we put a weight limit?
Which you would put right off of 208, on
Right.
that.
Right.
But that's it, I'm just a guess.
I don't know the
that
answer,
they
but it
may
seems
be
like that whole
directing
area is
Right.
regarding the three questions that I have for
Right.
traffic, I don't know the answers, I'm not claiming to know them.
Right, no, I understand, it's a tough route.
And then the last item was Utter Ave itself. We've talked about making it potentially no parking on one side. Would that help with, you go to, number of complaints I get is you can't get across on the numbers. You have to almost like gun it just to get across because you can't see. There's only like 7 houses that face Utter. If they were to lose half of those parking spaces, I don't think it's going to kill anybody, but it might give people trying to cross the numbers across the Utter a little more view to get across when everybody's parking on Utter.
Well, the police are looking at
I know
that.
that was another thing, just to follow up to see if, can we put a time frame on a solution, whether it be a month,
Well, I
I'll
know
go
we have-
past by 2
I
weeks.
know we want to come to the
Generous.
ordinance committee, and the ordinance committee right now is
We can have a special ordinance county committee, I'm sure the chairman would have one, we could have squeezed the police in this week if they had a recommendation.
Make a special ad hoc committee.
No, we were all scheduled to meet today, but yesterday, but things didn't occur, so we could have met to discuss those items. If we had something to
We will
discuss.
put some pressure to get that done sooner rather than later.
Okay, only because I'm getting the calls from
I
the
understand.
neighborhood. Okay. That's all I have for old business. New business, John, we'll start your way.
Okay, thank you. I don't know whether it's Dr. Boswell or Eric, but can you, all right, I'll direct it to Eric. Eric, can you tell me what's going on with the oil water separator at the DPW property?
I'll refer that back to Steve. I haven't heard anything.
It seems
about
like the elevations are a little too high, the way it's set right now.
I don't believe so, but I'll check.
Well, you want to look at a picture? I took a picture
Apparently I
today.
don't.
Well, I'd like you to see it because it looks like it's several inches higher than the existing parking lot.
Okay. Well, I'll look at it, we'll check it out tomorrow.
And if they can, and the other thing too is, this has been like this for a couple of months. When is that going to be basically paved over so that this way we can start using the
Well, I think
parking
we're
lot
gonna try and roll
again?
the paving in one shot, so it's more uniform, that was why.
Well, even if they put some QP down,
Yeah,
roll it, at least they can drive over it.
okay.
I don't think that would be much of a big deal. The other question that I have too is, looking at the way they set the forms for the ballards, it looks like some of them, they're not just outside the opening of the doorway, the overhead garage door openings. Some of them are just like in the opening a little bit. Is that going to be a problem?
I'll take a look at it.
With the doors being, I think they're 14 foot wide,
I'll take a look at it.
please. The other question that I
Normally you
have,
have a 2-inch or 3-inch overlap into the door opening.
well, I just want to make sure
Yeah,
that.
you're protecting the opening, but not much.
Not the whole bollard, usually it's
No,
like a
it-
couple
it's-
inches
it-
so that you're
it's-
not gonna hit the corner if you come in on a weird
I
angle.
understand that, but the way they are located at the ambulance building, they're just like even with the
edge.
with the edge, which is fine.
Usually they go a little over the edge, but not a lot. I mean, not half the width of the bollard, maybe, as Frank says, maybe an inch or something like that.
Okay. And then in our committee meeting, Eric, we had discussed with regard to the new building, the future bathroom that was supposed to be in the existing building in the corner. We were supposed to put the pipes in.
In the
and-
southeast corner.
Where the cage was.
Yeah, in the corner there,
Okay.
facing the other
Is
building.
that bathroom still designated to go in there, or is there something else gonna go in there?
The only thing that we were putting, I mean, that was the location for it, and we were gonna put the rough plumbing in.
We're gonna
for it.
run a waistline over
Yeah,
there.
we could- to my knowledge, there's been no change on that plan.
All right, so there's a 4-inch pipe there that was actually hooked to the sanitary outside when they brought in the sprinkler pipe, I'm asking,
Again, I think that's a Boswell
okay.
question.
Can you,
I was writing it on that one.
when we discussed it in committee, we discussed bringing in a 4-inch conduit
A waistline.
for the waste for a future bathroom to be tied into the sanitary outside, so that this way, if they ever wanted to put the bathroom in,
This is in the DPW building,
in the existing DPW building,
in the existing or the new one?
the existing one,
In the southeast corner.
right, where they were gonna bring the sprinkler lines in.
I don't remember hearing this, so that's why you may have discussed it
Well,
in committee, but I don't know that I ever heard it.
Well,
It wasn't-
you would have
it
heard it
was-
from Frank
it was
Rossi.
Frank Rossi was in the
Okay,
meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's supposed to be a
Sewer
future-
connection.
There's a
sewer
future
connection
4-inch sewer connection,
on the southeast corner of the old building.
correct,
Inside the floor there for a future bathroom with a shower.
right.
That was on their wish list. We said, well, we're not gonna necessarily get the bathroom and shower now,
But at
but
least
we'll
we'll
run
put
a
the.
waistline there.
We'll
to
run the
hook up
waistline, because they had the trench open to bring the sprinkler water pipe in.
Yeah.
And then, I heard, I don't know if it's true, but I heard there was something else designated to go in that area now?
I haven't heard anything.
Okay,
Okay. I mean,
all right, that's why I'm asking, because I think, you know, if there's something, we should know about it now, at least the council should know if there's something else designated to go in that area.
We don't know.
Okay, and that's all I'm asking.
No, I'm saying-
That's all I'm asking.
It's a rumor.
Let's see, what else?
The architect at Andy's Corner says,
It's not me, I didn't know.
Frank, he was your architect, he designed it.
oh, nobody listens to him.
Yeah.
Thank you for acknowledging that.
Okay, can you look,
That's why we got operating board.
check into those things, items, Steve, please? Okay. That's all I have, Frank.
I'm okay, Frank.
Bruce?
I got nothing.
Gary? Joe?
No, sir.
I had one little thing, Eric. It's small. Could we have our DPW, our shade tree people, or arborists prune the trees in the parking lot?
It's on the list.
Everybody knows that when you get shoots on the base of a trunk of a tree, they're just draining nutrients from the top of the tree. Take a look at the top of the trees, they're dying up there. So, it's a
And when
little,
you say everyone knows, I have no clue.
well,
Well, actually, what actually
it's
is.
unsightly.
is
All
that
your
when they
nutrients are going out.
prune them the last time, they prune them the incorrect way, and then the tree makes up for it, and then it sends out the shoots at the
But if,
bottom.
when you cut the shoots off, it'll force the energy to burst at the top and regenerate.
Now I've learned something.
Now, we walk by that tree every day.
I showed our arborist on, our meeting was the 6th.
So
He's aware.
it's our arborist that trims them, or is it
No,
our
no, no, he's
DPW?
putting in a request to have them.
Public service. that
Actually,
trims them.
what he's claiming is that there is such a high, it's basically baking in the asphalt. We haven't had enough water for them. They really should be watered on a regular basis.
It's rained all spring.
Yeah, I think we've solved that problem.
But what happens is that that area is not the correct area for that type of tree
Correct.
because it's just too hot.
Was that a cherry, Joe? Is that a cherry tree?
No, it's like a cherry blossom,
Yeah.
and they're just baking out there. And then when they came and pruned them, they pruned them incorrectly. Now you're getting the bottom shoots. I think his suggestion in a way was to just remove those trees and have a different species of tree there.
Well, instead of cutting it down, why don't we just trim the shoots off and see if it comes back next season? It's good practice anyway.
He's put it on the Downs list. Downs is gonna check it out.
So Downs is the one doing
Down
it?
is the one who would do the work.
And when are they scheduled to do it?
That's a question for administration.
I
Once
don't
it
know,
goes on the
this is
list,
the first I've heard about this thing, but we'll follow up on it.
I just hope it's not the same as a tree planting where it took a year and a half to get trees done.
No, actually,
I mean, I
it's
can
on
come
my-
back with
it's
my
on my
lopper
committee
tomorrow
list.
and get it done.
it's on my committee list.
Okay. That's all I have. So turning to the administrative agenda, presented by Mayor Goldberg.
Thank you, Council President. We have a new website format, and I want to thank our Borough Clerk, Lori DeBella, and Borough Administrator Eric Maurer for their hard work, expertise, and creative skills in creating our new website. It's very user-friendly, and it looks terrific. The website is enhanced by photography by Tanya Sanford. Her photographs provide a wonderful backdrop to the website page. I urge all of you to look at the new website. As a new feature, please subscribe to the mayor's blog. I understand I have 6 subscribers so far. None of you have subscribed, so I'm warning you. I will be blogging, we'll be using this as a way to reach out to all of you. Due to rain last Tuesday, the National Night Out ended earlier, and country band Radio Nash was unable to perform. Thank you to our police, fire, EMS, Municipal Alliance, and of course our band shell committee and its chairman.
Thank you.
I just want you to know I added that. It wasn't on my notes.
No, I like the way you ad-libbed there. It was good.
The Borough Swim Meet was also that night. This annual event is sponsored by the Hawthorne Lions Club and the Hawthorne Board of Recreation. Thank you to Jack Gallagher and Jane Tenkate for their hard work. Every year they put this annual event together. You may have noticed that there are speed signs that have been placed on 6 streets, 7 streets. Washington has 2, and then there are 6 other streets.
Ray Avenue.
Right. I'm going to give you a list in case you were curious. Washington Avenue has 2, Utter near 7th, Brain Avenue, Ridgewood Avenue, Ray Avenue, Warburton Avenue, and Diamond Bridge Avenue.
Requests on Facebook are coming in daily.
Right. I was going to say the feedback has been very positive. That was phase 1. Phase 2 is on order. We have 6 more signs coming in order. I am sure that there will be more requests than we have signs available. The police will determine what streets need them the most. So as soon as those come in, we will put those up as well. And I'm sure, I hate to speak for the council, but I do once in a while, that in the next year's budget, you'll allow the purchase of more of the street signs. They're not inexpensive, but I think it's a necessary thing to help the quality of life issues. Someone was worrisome that people may see how fast they can get the sign up to. The sign is designed that if you hit a certain speed, it goes black. So it can't be used as a racing mechanism. And it does say thank you when you're going 25 miles an hour and slow down when you're going faster than that. But I do want to thank the council who appropriated the money, the police department, DPW, for getting locations and getting the signs up. I think that's something that has been needed, and we have been committed to doing that, and I'm sure that we will do it, purchase more in the future. Looking forward, please mark your calendars for the Classic Car Show at the Farmers Market on Sunday, and our annual 9/11 service will be held on Tuesday, September 11th at 6:30 at the Memorial on Goffle Road. Our keynote speaker this year will be Ron Fava, who was the sheriff of Passaic County when the event happened. The 10th annual Hawthorne Day is September 22nd. Please save the date. Vendor forms and sponsorship forms can be found on the website. This time I call upon my band cell chairman, Mike Pasquale, I'm sorry. I forgot. We have our acting still acting.
No. Look at the sign.
Oh, it says CFO. Okay, well.
You swore in, didn't you?
I did.
We couldn't get you a sign yet? It's on order. They both have makeshift.
Right, well, first, before I go there, I do want to congratulate our borough clerk who became a certified municipal clerk, and we'll be buying her a new sign apparently as well. And now that I've sworn in Lori, we'll be buying her a sign as well. That'll be the end of our personnel moves because we're out of sign money apparently. Lori, our CFO, you have a report.
Yes, I'd like to report on the tax bills. They went out on Friday, August 10th. We did receive our first payment around 10 o'clock on Monday. They came in right as soon as I got them out of the mail. We have a steady flow of them coming in and making their payments. And I'd just like everyone to know that the grace period is extended to September 10th before 4 p.m. If they are after that, the interest does go back to August 1st. So we'd like everyone to make sure they get them in before that date. And we also just like to send out some get well wishes to Cynthia in our office. She had some surgery and she will be out about approximately another week and a half. So we just want to send some get well thoughts to her. Otherwise, the whole finance department is functioning well at this time.
Thank you for that HIPAA violation, by the way.
It was not.
That was borderline.
It was not.
I don't
Really?
understand why Vegas hasn't
Not to
picked
mention,
them up.
you mentioned the employee's name
These
without
are all weak.
being.
Oh, would you
Okay,
guys
at this
stop?
point, I call upon Borough Attorney Michael Pasquale.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to mention that You're Going Too Fast and Thank Yous are both working on Diamond Bridge Avenue, as I've gotten one of each. My congratulations to our CMC, Certified Municipal Clerk Lori DeBella. Big honor. It's a nationwide, by the way, designation. She can now be a clerk in any of the 50 United States and Puerto Rico, I believe.
At the Virgin Islands?
No, she also gets free parking at
Wow.
certain places. She can cut lines in Disney World, I believe. There are a lot of... Yeah, new badge, the whole thing. So anyway, congratulations. It's well-earned and hard work to get there. A lot of credit hours that went into that, so congratulations.
I think she needs a hand of applause. I did what I thought we did last week. When we weren't here.
We announced, actually, she received word during our meeting, and when we were in private session, she actually got the email response, and, fireworks on the phone, the whole thing, but it was good. So congratulations. Let me report on some legal matters before I get to band shell matters. I know, once in a while I am a lawyer. The affordable housing litigation continues. I appeared in court the day after our last meeting on August 2nd before Judge Brogan. We had a conference. The owner of 204 Wagra Road continues to be the obstacle that stands between Hawthorne and a compliant plan. We have tried everything to try to work with this property owner, but the property owner has been difficult, to say the least. We are going to continue our talks, and the judge has basically said, I'm going to give the special master another 2 months to either wrap up the plan or we're going to litigate this matter. Litigation is not the choice for the borough, but we will do it if we have to, because we are going to make sure that that property and all properties are developed the way they should be in our community. So talks are continuing. There were some positive movements in the last week or so, and let's hope that we can get to a positive result. Special Master's been terrific in working with us, and let's hope she can bring a settlement together. I'm pleased to tell you that the Highview at Hawthorne matter was decided in our favor. I don't know if you recall, but Highview sued the borough with regard to the ownership of a strip of road that runs where Mazer Place ends for about 400 feet up the hill, where it becomes part of the road system in Highview. We have a water tank on one of the contiguous lots. Dr. Boswell's office put together aerial photography, which the judge relied on extensively, and looking and saying, I see the water tower. Why would you landlock your own property? And the record that was from ordinances adopted and numbers 1496 and 1497 back in the day, was very clear. The judge ruled that we do own that property, and therefore nobody can put a gate on borough property. So hopefully this gate issue is over once and for all, and we just continue to move on as neighbors. There is going to be a continuation of one aspect of the suit, which is whether or not there's any recompense due the homeowners association for their work in paving, plowing, and maintaining 400 feet of road. We don't
reimburse plowing?
we do.
Just, okay.
We do, and we're pretty sure it includes that 400 feet. So, in any event, again, thanks to Dr. Boswell, thanks to Gene DeAugustinis, too, who is on the front line. Gene has a great manner in dealing with people who come to the building, and he's to be commended because he is our front line, and he puts on a very good image for our community. So, thanks to Gene. He does terrific work. Let me get on to the band shell now. You know, you read the Lemony Snicket, a series of unfortunate events to your kids or with your kids at some point. August has been a series of unfortunate events. We canceled Radio Nash because of inclement weather that was predicted that did not come, but also due to an illness of the singer. Rescheduled it for National Night Out. And it looked like it was going to be beautiful when National Night Out started. The band was all set, and then the skies opened.
And by the time 7 o'clock rolled around, the field was a mess. It was just a torrential downpour. Those of us who were stuck under tents, Joe, you were under a tent with me. Who else was there? Eric was under the tent. Lori.
Should have gotten out when
Yeah.
I left.
Bertolo was under a tent. Yeah, we were all stuck under tents. But in any event, we could not reschedule Radio Nash at this point. We're working to see if we can get another date into the schedule. The good news is after we had to cancel Sunday's Fight for Autism 3, we were able to line up a series of concerts and movies starting this Sunday. Sunday night is Shrek, the great movie being shown at the Bandshell. The Municipal Alliance is part of that. Our Municipal Alliance Executive Director, is that the title?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Certified
Yeah.
executive director.
And Joey and Graziano from the Alliance are going to make sure that we have popcorn for the kids. There is a rumor that the big green guy himself will be there for photographs. So we are looking forward to showing Shrek at 8 o'clock on the 19th.
Will Fiona be there?
I'm sorry?
Fiona?
We're not sure. We're not sure, but we know Shrek will be there. With regard to the next concert, it's the 23rd. It's a week from Thursday. Great show. It's the Motor City Review, a Motown act, which is supposed to be great. It's a 10-piece band that includes horn section, singers, and everything. And we'll have a couple of food trucks there, which is going to be good. And it should be a great night. So August 23rd is the next concert. August, 26th, also a Sunday, we're showing the movie Frozen. And again, the Municipal Alliance is going to work with us in providing refreshments. We think Ilsa's going to be there, but it might end up being
Might be too warm.
an evil prince. We're not sure. But somebody will be there.
The evil prince won't look like Thor by any.
No, the evil prince will not look like Thor unless I have to resurrect that costume. And then the last event of the season will be Fight for Autism 3. We've scheduled it for Sunday, the 16th of September. It is a 4 o'clock show in deference to our neighbors because it is a work night, school night, and we have kids playing this year, including Lori Foley's daughter, who will be among the singers. So we're going to have a 4 o'clock show. This way we hope to get done by 7 o'clock, thereabouts. And the Giants play at 8:20, by the way, against the Cowboys, so just got to keep that in mind. So September 16th, Sunday night, Fight for Autism 3 will be a great night again. Lori D. is working on getting us food trucks for the event. We think we have the rolling pita already, and we're going to work on a couple of others. So Sunday night, I will see everybody watching Shrek, and next Thursday, a week from Thursday, come out and see the Motor City Review. And that, Mayor, concludes my report.
Thank you, Michael. It's almost anticlimactic, but my engineer's report from Dr. Stephen Boswell.
I have nothing else to add.
How could you?
Well, in tonight, you have Resolution 140-18. That's the change order based on we did extra work. I think the other members of the council approved that a while ago. Bandshell bathrooms, we drew the temporary CO. We've given Eric 3 quotes to put in an ADA compliant path from the parking lot to the facility. And as you know, this is kind of indicative of the quotes that we got, the Lafayette Streetscape, which you're going to reject tonight. The 3 prices, 2 of them are right next to each other, the third one's double. You know, it's just what happens now. DPW, we'll look at all John's questions that he brought up before. In addition to garage doors, the remaining panels are being installed. Modifications to the doors and the headers were required, but the interior plumbing and conduit work will start prior to the floor slab being poured, which should happen fairly shortly. The water tank LSRP services, this is Mary Street, this is Golford Hill tank rather, I'm sorry, will be done the middle of next week, just to delineate horizontally and vertically the lead that's been found in the soil. 2017 and 18 road programs, we will do the walkthrough with Councilman Witecki, and we're putting together the punch list for both projects right now. Municipal pool, we have a final punch list prepared. Integrated Aquatics worked with us to put that together. Lafayette Streetscape, we're very confident that we can get you a much better price than the bid that you got once we take some time and talk to people. But now that's why we recommend tonight that you reject the second time, talk to council about it before, and then we'll negotiate. And the law's actually very interesting. A lot of people assume, and Michael and I have been through this before, so they assume that you can only negotiate with those who bid. That's, not only is that false, you can negotiate with anybody. You don't even have to negotiate with those who bid. But we will.
Just those who bid on the last round.
Right.
Second, first round, you don't have to.
Right. Roof repairs to the sewer and water department structures pre-con meeting is being held next week. Work will start on the week of August 27th. The Mary Street painting tank bids went out on the 3rd of August and are due back on the 29th of August. And as we talked about on this tank, we have proactively taken soil samples around the tank before anybody touched it. So we'll have the results on those by the end of the week. We had a conversation with Eric about some possible improvements down to the municipal pool, putting in spray park type features. I'm sure we'll discuss that with council as we go through. And finally, Washington Avenue, you may not remember, but I think it was now 2004, I guess so. About 14 years ago, we looked at a Washington Avenue drainage improvement to take the water Eric, we've discussed it with the administration and believe that this would be a good time to go in for our local aid money. So we've updated the estimate, and we have to plan on getting those to Eric tonight. Other than that, Mayor, I'll answer any questions.
Thank you, Steve. I did omit something in the report of the Banshell and Borough Attorney reports. So I'm going to give the floor back to the attorney.
I forgot to mention it was my birthday last week. Just for those of you who missed it, I'm sure most of you didn't. But also, a belated happy birthday to Mayor Fred Crisatelli. He's August 8th. He turned 80 on the 8th. Fred's been, as most of you, or all of you know, under the weather a little bit and going through a difficult time. And so regards to Mayor Crisatelli on his 80th birthday, and good health to him.
Now, Laura, you don't have to feel bad. We've had yet another HIPAA violation.
No, that wasn't so bad. It's just that the age thing, you know.
At this point, I turn the meeting over to my Borough Administrator, Eric Maurer, for his report.
Thank you. As the mayor alluded previously, our new website has launched, and one of the new features is allowing residents to subscribe to receive certain information, not just the mayor's blog, but they can subscribe specifically for things at their choice, for news items, job postings, agendas, and so forth. So we hope that people will take advantage of these features as we try to get information out and also be transparent in our municipal business. By October, we hope to have available an app for smartphones that will work in conjunction with the website to make it easier for people using their cell phones to get key information. So that's yet another feature we're getting with our website. As many people may know, we had some spotty phone service at the municipal building yesterday, usually off, occasionally phone calls getting through. That was due to a problem that Verizon was experiencing with lines in this general vicinity. Everything now seems to be fixed, but we apologize to anyone who couldn't reach us yesterday. As reported in advance at the last meeting, a request for proposals for revaluation services has been advertised, and with proposals due on September 25th. Our consultant is working to prepare an application for grant funds for further environmental testing at the Pyrolac property, and we expect to have an authorizing resolution for that grant application on the agenda for September 5th. We have not yet heard back from the state regarding their approval of our contract for court collections, but we're still expecting word back by the end of this month. As the 2018 pool season winds down, we have made our annual pool survey available to patrons at the pool, both at the office and also via a nixle sent out to the pool nixle group. We look forward to hearing their observations, concerns, and suggestions. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Eric. I did meet with some people who had some concerns about the pool. I will probably be forming a mayor's advisory committee about the pool to give us input and suggestions and some volunteer labor at times. I'll have more on that committee as we actually form it, but we had a very productive meeting with some pool ladies, the pool ladies, the ladies from the pool.
Rich, not engineering issues.
No. No.
Oh,
No, more of how to enjoy the pool or whatever. So. Engineering issues, I have an engineer on staff that does that. And I do want to say, well, the phones were out yesterday, but the main line of the police department and the 911 was never down. So they didn't have a problem. The only problem they had is they couldn't run, their computers were down. They couldn't run driver's license information, that kind of stuff. But we were never without phone, for emergency phones into the police department. They just were a little hampered by not being able to do anything on their computers. But I just wanted to assure the public that they were always safe, even when our phones were. Council President, we'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for the administration? John?
Steve, while you're checking those items for the DPW building, can you just check the elevations? Because when I walked through the building the other night, it looked like the elevation for the new building and the elevation for the existing floor in the existing building.
No, it's not an easy thing to do, but it hasn't worked out. But I'll check again.
Thank you.
But I can tell you that that's something that we've spent a lot of time.
Okay. I know we talked about it long before the building was built, about the elevations, but, okay, thank you. That's it, Frank.
Michael, 204 Wag, does the judge know that somebody wants to purchase that property without putting housing on it?
I don't know that the judge would get involved in that, because the judge's only concern is, do we have a compliant affordable housing plan? And so that's really the issue there. His only jurisdiction is with regard to our affordable housing obligation.
But that property was never in our plan.
It was not in our plan, but it was identified as a potentially usable site when 204 Wagros sued the Borough of Hawthorne and objected to its plan. 204 was not in our original plan because we did not zone it for residential.
But what is our new affordable housing requirement number, and what is our current, where are we at?
The required number of new units we have to build is 270 or thereabouts. It's a impossibly high number. We have some credits from the prior round, probably about 50 to 60 credits total. There's some disputes as to whether we can claim credits or not in certain properties. But the bottom line is we are nowhere near achieving, and we never will be. The judge, the court, everybody.
I thought there was a reduction that we were qualified for.
Well, I'll get to that.
Okay. All right.
I was almost there.
Okay.
There's something called a vacant land adjustment, which is what you're talking about. Vacant land adjustment says if you do not have enough vacant land to meet the ridiculously high number assigned to you, then you can get an adjustment downward. We had that with the last go-round. We were reduced to the 52 units that we actually, or 51 units that we actually ended up building between Lafayette Hills, money we paid into Patterson by way of RCA, et cetera, Van Dyke property and the CDC property. So what we ended up with here is we believed our vacant land adjustment should put us at 0. The objectors believed even with the vacant land adjustment, we still have 70 units that we have to build. And the owner of 204 Wagros says, well, if you let me build a high-density apartment complex, 6 stories high, I'll meet all of it. And the answer was no, thank you. So that's kind of where we stand. So we cannot, and the special master's made clear too, she will not exclude this property from all consideration, but she's also indicated this property does not lend itself to high-density housing. Nothing about it. It's between a compost site, our pistol range, a gun club, 2 active railroad lines, a beer distributor, and a major artery road. I mean, that's the property. So how anybody thinks that's conducive to high-density housing is beyond me.
What would happen if Kohl's, the department store, said, I want to come back and take that property?
There would be...
And, purchase it and build a facility. What would it do to our realistic number, our vacant land adjustment, now that that property is occupied by a commercial use or retail?
That property would go. That property would no longer be part of our vacant land inventory.
So then we would meet our number?
We would still have an obligation. What we will be doing is creating an overlay zone that says basically wherever somebody builds 6 or more units of housing in the future, there's going to have to be an affordable component, which
It's kind of that's been like that forever.
we've been always looking to do that on various properties. We did it with the Gorga property.
But that's what it used to be, the set aside
Delaborno's
of
property.
10%.
The set aside of 15% rental, 20% if it's going to be for sale units. So there will be overlay zoning. That's a definite. The question is, what do we do with 204? And right now, nobody has offered the owner of 204 Wagro a price that he's willing to accept. So he continues to litigate with the borough on every front that he can. What am I going to tell you?
But in theory, you could offer him $50 million and he'll say no just because he wants to build housing.
Well, I would think everybody has his price.
I
You know,
think his is about 12.
paid $6 million for it.
Well, I guess the question I have for that is if the property owner is looking to appeal his evaluation, how could he then be asking for twice that amount?
He dismissed his appeal.
Because he saw this writing on the wall.
Yeah,
Gee, what a coincidence.
yeah, he saw that.
Okay, I'm sorry, John, I kind of took over your time.
If we,
Or Dominic.
well, forbid, can we get this project downtown street by this year, or no?
Well, that's going to be the question. If you do it in the spring, you get a much better price.
So we're planning to spring that.
I recommend to you, I think you'll save 30, 40% if you wait till the spring. If you want, we can still do it this year.
No,
But that's what we're talking about.
all right,
McNerney's lot's got added.
yeah, this year.
No, that was
I'm done.
Bruce,
There was existing.
Gary.
I just had a question for Mike. I know we always do this, but when, like, the tax bills go out late like this, because it's no fault of ours, but we say we could charge you interest back to August 1st. That seems a little bit illegal when you haven't gotten the bill until August 10th. How could you be paying interest on something before the bill was even generated?
It's funny you say that, because that's a discussion that we just had before
agree with
coming
Gary.
here.
Fair is fair.
I'm going to guess that the person who'll have the answer is our CFO.
Well,
Eventually.
we just had that discussion, so I will check into that as to why, but it does
It
make
is the
sense. I
law,
know
though.
that's the way
That
that
a
it's
state
always
statute?
been.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the law. And when we
The
say-
law says that. The law doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to charge people interest on a bill that wasn't sent to them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But the law
Yeah, but-
says August 1.
But you have to understand, the law says the bills go out due August 1st, you have to, what, the 10th to pay?
Correct.
You give them
Correct. You have a
25
grace
days from when
period.
you mail
Right,
the
so
bills.
we're mailed out late, we've extended the grace period, so they still have the same amount of time to pay it within.
Right, correct, because the bills just went out,
Right.
and they have all the way until September 10th. But your regular bill on any other quarters, you do have that 10-day grace period,
Right.
and if you're after that 10-day grace period, it goes back to
That's
the first.
understandable.
So here we
But you have the bill.
extended.
Yeah, no, there's an unfairness. There's no question there's an unfairness. The bills got mailed out,
And it's delayed
what,
by
the
the-
8th, 9th,
The 10th.
10th, on the
It's
10th.
being delayed by the state, not by us.
I know, but the statute says the 1st, and there's no exception in the statute that says, but if the bills go out late, it goes back to the mailing date. It really goes back to the 1st.
And they have the 10-day grace period, but here now we gave them 25
Right.
days. So we've even extended the grace period for them.
Which, again, we have to do, but, you know, I guess the theory is that if you have the money and you have 25 days notice, and you should have had the money if the bills went on time, there should be no reason not to pay. That's the theory, whether it's fair, whether there's counter arguments. That's, I think, the theory.
That is the law, though.
And that's why I stress paying it by the 10th, because we did have people that walked in with their bill and their checkbook, and when they found out it was extended to the 10th, they're like, well, come back. I'm like, okay, make sure you're back before the 10th, because the interest goes to the 1st, and they have it, but they're like, okay, I'll hold it to the 10th. And we've had quite a few that walked out and
They
said
can
they'll
probably
wait.
make 50 cents of interest. But
And don't drop your bill payment, don't drop your payment in the box outside.
On that day.
at-
On the
On
10th.
that day at
4:01.
4 or 5 o'clock, because
There's a note.
whatever's in there, that's it.
We do put a note of that.
Well, I got
During
my
tax
bill,
quarter,
I
we
think I
check
got my
it
bill
twice a
Monday.
day, so
Yeah,
we're
mine
on
too.
top of it.
Yeah. Yeah, the bills, most of us got our bills on Monday. Apparently somebody before 10 o'clock.
Yeah, he was here exactly, it was 10-ish.
Anything else, Gary?
That's all.
Joe?
The Shrek movie, you said that there'll be popcorn.
There will be.
Do you have a popcorn maker?
No.
I believe Joanne Graziano was working on getting a popcorn maker. Why, you have one?
In my basement?
Well, I'll send Joanne to your house.
Mike, you had bags last year, though. You gave up bags
Yes,
last
but
year.
we decided it would be far more festive. Dominic, festive. We have to be festive for this. She was going to borrow from the brownstone perhaps, but
have
Jeff, you
one.
have one?
Yeah.
All right.
If somebody has a truck wants to swing by, it'll be on the porch.
We're on it. I know somebody who has a truck.
Who's gonna make it?
That's Joanne's thing. She's very good at that.
I got the maker, no popcorn.
All
I
right.
got some bags.
Well, we'll handle it. Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
John, you said you had one more item?
Wait, just one, Eric, last meeting, we discussed the improvements to the pistol range. Has there been any movement with regard to setting a fee schedule for other towns to come and?
We've had discussions, we're waiting for recommendations from the police department. They were supposed to research other ranges, what they're charging, so that we can get an idea. We're concerned that we don't want to over-rent it so we don't have constant firing, because, you know.
Oh, I thought you
you've
did that already.
got- No,
Your
you're still here.
assistants, don't be the cheapest.
Because, you know, again, like everything else, it becomes a quality of life issue for people who live in Joe's ward.
For any ward.
Or any ward that can hear the pistol, right. So, yeah, we do want to make some money, but we don't want to make a burden on our residents that all that they hear is pistol shots, because every department has to qualify during the day and at night. And I don't want to light up the night sky with people complaining that there's, you know, shots.
Did
Oh,
you
we-
give,
we
did
could
you
also
give the
be-
police department 2 weeks, or?
No, I didn't give them 2 weeks, but they've been in and we've been discussing it, and the range masters have been discussing it with us as well.
I'm against renting it out altogether.
We could also make it a day-only range. So if you want to qualify
You
at night,
could,
go
but-
somewhere else to
but then-
qualify.
But then they need to find somebody to someplace to qualify at night, and that means that they're gonna go there during the day.
Not our problem.
No,
Yeah,
I understand that.
So if they want to come during the day, if it's better for our residents, it's somewhere in the middle of Bruce and your
we
your
get-
plan.
But the amount of money that people are willing to pay to utilize your range is a consideration too.
yeah,
For
but
the-
then we've got the problem of the lead remediation and
Well,
all of that.
there would be a fee for remediation for every group that comes in and shoots.
Right.
Okay, that's all I have, Frank.
Good idea.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Lori, I had one question for you. The new tax bills that went out, does that reflect the school board's give back of their tax money they received?
Correct, that's why it was extended even longer, because we had to wait for them to make the decision, contact the Division of Local Government, and also to the county on what their decision was.
Sure.
So that's why we had to wait for them. So it's all good, no adjusted bills, that's what the rate.
So now their increase was 2% then?
Yep.
Right.
Okay. Fair enough. Does anyone else have any other questions for the administration? Mayor, anything else?
That concludes the report of the administration.
Have a motion to record the administrative agenda. Motion by Wadecki, second by Sitting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Introduction of ordinances, we have none. Resolutions, before I read them off, on R 139-18, there's a typo. The amount being spent is $36,070, not $356,070.
That's one.
However, if that was certified, I'll take a check.
139-18.
Okay.
Wow, who
Also,
typed
Frank,
that?
on the same
fault.
resolution, there's also a typo. It has acting CFO, it should just be chief financial officer.
Which one is this?
139-18.
Oh my God,
The
when
number's
did I
mentioned
type
3
this?
places, but
I don't know who typed it, but.
Paragraph 5.
I
On-
see
all the way
thirty-six.
on the bottom.
places.
Yeah, but there is one place where it says 356.
Did you think I made it
The part
up?
that I certified is correct. The part that
No,
I certified says the 36.
No,
That
I'm
was
looking on
written
the bottom
above.
where it says acting.
Yeah, it says chief financial officer in the body of it and acting on the bottom.
Yeah.
Lori, I
Yeah, but
apologize.
I certified the 36,
All right.
not the 300.
I will pull back my bill for that
Well, not that I
resolution.
don't value Lori's title, I'm really caring about the extra $300,000.
I care about both. I
Okay,
apologize, that was my
and-
typing.
You must have been at your birthday
$320,000.
party. Yes, he was at his birthday
I was,
party
I
when
was
he
in,
was
yeah, I
doing
typed
these.
this sitting in a
And one
hotel
other,
room in Saratoga.
one other clarification is R 138-18, the liquor license transfer tells you who it's coming from, but it doesn't tell you who it's going to.
Exactly.
It's going to 142 Goffel Road LLC, which is Mr. Taraglia, who's in the audience, is a member of that LLC.
No, it says it. It
Oh, it says
says,
142?
an application has been made by 142 for a person-to-person transfer to it.
And the
To
last
him, but it doesn't
paragraph
say
as
who
well.
him is.
It says to it.
To
Right.
it, okay.
And it says it's from Gerald A. Wodarczyk.
Correct, but normally we'll say
Yeah.
who is the owner.
Right.
And the
He's
current
here.
owner, it really is Gerald Wolarczyk.
Well,
Just
the
Gerald A., the son.
Gerald Jr.
Junior.
Shouldn't it say
In the
junior?
last paragraph.
No, he's not a junior, he's
Spelled
Gerald A.
So.
And, yeah, no, this one I got right. I'm pretty confident.
Okay.
So this is
Last
gonna be
one I
a
did
pocket
not.
license then?
Well, why don't we wait until we read it and do it?
Okay.
So the consent agenda, R-135-18 through R-141-18, R-135-18, Borough of Hawthorne payroll dated August 3rd, 2018, R-136-18, debt service, R-137-18, debt service, R-138-18, liquor license transfer, R-139-18, purchase of vehicle for the Fire Prevention Bureau with the 5 struck out of that total. And R-140-18 is a change order for Arlington Ave, and R-141-18 is reject bids number 2 for downtown streetscape phase 2. Can I have a motion? Motion by Bennett, second by Sitting. Any discussion?
Discussion.
Pick
So
a
this-
number.
The same one, the liquor license transfer is gonna be a pocket license?
It is. It is a pocket license now, it'll remain a pocket
From
license.
pocket to pocket?
From one pocket to a different pocket.
So does that reset the clock?
They have, no, it doesn't start all over again. They're on an existing extension now. When did they last get an extension? For the rest of this?
For the pocket license, 1 year.
Yeah. So they don't get a fresh year, they're buying into the existing year. If you know what I mean.
Pocket. And what's
Yes.
the maximum years?
2 at a time. After 2 years, you have to petition the director and get a special ruling. You have to show attempt to place it in a establishment or, try to sell it, and then they rule. So he did receive the ruling for 1 year to remain pocket. Then
So-
the new owner will have to,
We'll have,
at the end of next year, June 2019, we'll have to apply for another year if it's still in the pocket.
okay.
Any
No
other
other
questions? Any other questions? I did have a question on the vehicle purchase. Is this the same make and model as the chief's vehicle?
I believe so.
I believe I believe.
So our
so.
fleet is gonna kind of match the way
Yes,
we used
should
to
be.
have it.
Yep.
I'm not questioning what's being picked up,
Right,
but
yeah.
obviously it would make sense for them to be very similar.
Correct.
Because obviously Gene's car had a lot less miles, was in a lot better condition. So in the future, if we needed another chief's vehicle, we could certainly trade up
Right.
and just feed it right to a
Yep.
chief. Okay, good. Okay, roll call.
Bennett,
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Neely.
Yes.
Sinning.
Yes.
Watecki.
Yes.
Matthews.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Reports of special council committees. Joe, we'll start your way.
All right. Hawthorne Shade Tree Commission met. We've actually discussed our new 5-year plan, and they've awarded it to a new person for a total of $3,400. He is a CFMP, which is a certified tree expert. 2, Downs has completed 90% of our to-do list that we sent them, because they were backed up to June of 2016, and they've brought us all up to date, with the exception, it's just about 10% plus what we added on Monday evening. Number 3, reminder that Hawthorne Day is September 22nd, and we will have a table at Hawthorne Day. That is all.
Gary.
Yes, the ordinance committee was supposed to meet yesterday, but due to an illness, we had to cancel. It's been rescheduled for next Tuesday, which would be, what, 21st?
21st.
Correct.
That's it.
Bruce.
Yes, the Public Works Committee met on Monday, and some of it was covered, but we'll hit some highlights here. There's a lot on the agenda. The 2018 road program in Arlington Avenue, just punch list items remaining. As you heard, the DPW garage, we're making progress. except for the oil water separator. You'll take care of that. The Mary Street tank, the bids are due on 8/29. Swimming pool enhancements, which Dr. Boswell touched on briefly. His people have given us sort of an à la carte menu of enhancements and upgrades that can be made depending on what we want, if anything. It can range from 30 grand to $1 million. $1
Not that high.
million. So we're gonna have to do a lot more studying on that one.
It's cheaper to buy people passes to another pool.
You know, what can I say? The numbers are the numbers. The grinder for the Sycamac sewer station, delivery and installation is expected later this month. The valve maintenance trailer should also be delivered this month. Our water utility asset management plan, which is mandated by the state, Eric, Dr. Boswell's people, the DPW licensed operator all had a meeting on August 6th. So work is underway on that. We have to have it implemented and certified by April 19th of next year, so work is underway on that project. FEMA reimbursement for the storm of March 6th and 7th, we're still gathering information. We might be able to get as much as $15,000 to cover the damages that were incurred, but they're working on that. And as most of you know, we came through the recent storms with some flooding, but nothing compared to past years, so drainage improvements we've made are working, and hopefully we can continue to keep working on them and maybe get the county to pick up some of their responsibility on their roads. And that concludes the Public Works report.
Thank you. Dominic?
Last week, myself and Lori DeBello, we met with the representative of Mr. Boswell's company to talk about some improvements at the pool that we could maybe increase more people attending the pool. One of the talks was water type splash park, which I don't know where you got $1 million from. So we were talking a lot less.
That includes all of the enhancements. The
Well,
splash
anyway.
park can be 30 to 50.
Anyway. And then,
No one thinks you're spending $1 million.
Well, I can guarantee you, don't have to think it.
We're all sure.
so they're doing that, we're trying to increase more people using the facility. Then I also met with some ladies who were concerned about the pool, and we discussed possibly doing some of the bathrooms over and things of this nature.
Yeah, we think that the next thing to do is to.
They haven't been changed since. the
Is
pool's
to
been-
work on the bathrooms and the lockers and perhaps a new slide for next year. We think that customer
Possibly,
comfort
yeah.
and safety really should come first. The slide that we have there is too small and not used. We'd like to get a.
Falling apart.
And falling, but we'd like to get a bigger, more fun slide for the kids. That slide alone could be $30,000. But we think if we couple that with the renovations to the bathrooms and the locker room area first, and then phase 2 would be the sprinkler park, because we think more customers will get a benefit out of enhanced locker rooms and the slide.
Maybe we did that when we first got on the council.
So we did, but we didn't.
Oh my God, I just went in the bathroom. It is not redone.
No,
Yeah,
we
no,
put
it
in new
really needs-
partitions. Yes, we did.
What
Yeah, but
what
we did, but
And
we
actually did the work.
10 or 11 years ago, we did new partitions and a new floor covering, a new textured floor covering. The problem with it is because it's color, whatever, it looks like it's perpetually dirty even when it's not. So it you know, and we've never done new fixtures. There's some things that haven't been done. But we did do partitions and a new floor surface.
So we'll bring recommendations to the council when we have a direction.
And I also attended the Freeholder meeting last night, and we were awarded $50,000 for our tennis court. So, and I thank them for that. We have a nice relationship. That's it.
John?
I'm good, Frank.
Chamber of Commerce, this Sunday is the 7th annual car show down at the Farmers Market behind the library. The hours are between the 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Scheduled to be, I think, 130 cars and some motorcycles thrown in there. being sponsored by Hawthorne Industrial Radiator and Glenrock Savings Bank, along with the Hawthorne Chamber of Commerce. An update on the fishing derby, I think John mentioned it last meeting, when I saw the tape, it's September 29th this year, at the Duck Pond, between the hours of 8:30 and 11. That special county relationship that we had, they rented out the date when I always have it. So I'm not so sure we're so special anymore.
September 29th, that's a Saturday?
It's a Saturday. It's always been in the teens, the third weekend of the month, but apparently this year things are different.
Apparently Joe and I are not the only persons dead.
Well, I have been told that I've been dead too, but whatever. The planning board last meeting approved another gaming business that is going to go in across the street from Hawthorne's Best. Originally they were going to come up with another pizza parlor to rival them.
Well, that was 2 weeks ago. That was 2 meetings, because I was at that meeting.
Well, did you report it last meeting?
Were you there?
I was there.
Wow.
See, Boswell, you're not the only.
Well, regardless, since I'm sure the mayor did not report it,
He did not, Frank.
because I saw the tape, so
okay.
I did watch the meeting. They're gonna have light refreshments as well as gaming, so it's somewhere in between the game cave and a little bit of fried food to go with it. The last meeting that the mayor was not at, because he was too busy being on vacation, the coffee shop was approved for the new renovated Decker Dodge building in the middle suite. However, there were some issues with the building and some certificate of occupancy
We talked
items
about that last meeting, you weren't here.
that, yeah.
Someone was on vacation.
Well, I was at the meeting where the applicant actually came. It's easy to report afterwards. But I left in the council room, there's the plan and elevation of, it's supposedly high-end coffee, not a Starbucks, so it's a one-off, it's a Hawthorne resident, so he's trying to make a go of it, and obviously he knows that one of the conditions was that the building has to get its CO before he moves in. So it would behoove him to get on the owner to address all the
Well, the
problems.
mayor and met with the owners last week when you were on vacation, so.
I did hear that. I did hear that.
Yeah, we did have a productive meeting with Mike Kelly from Boswell's office, our construction official, just to make sure, and Eric was there, just make sure everybody was on the same page as what had to be done. So at some point, we anticipate that the owner will come back to the planning board for an amended site plan approval, because some of the things that he's done that he shouldn't have done maybe, that they're gonna try and remedy, so.
Is he cleared for DEP?
Yes, I believe so. I believe he's done with the DEP. This was some of our issues, the movement, placement of a dumpster, the loss of one parking space, I think, where he wants to put the dumpster. We
So-
recommended it go someplace else where we wouldn't lose a parking
How
spot.
about building it to the plans that were approved?
Well, here was
Why
an
would you come
issue.
to us to amend it to let
Well,
you
there
keep
was-
what you did wrong?
There was an issue. Mike Kelly was working off plans from one date. The builder was working off plans at a different date, which was beyond Mike Kelly's date. So they were supposed to check to see which set of plans they were supposed to be working off of. So that was part of the issue, is they finally said, what's the date on your plan? I think Mike said July 12th. He said, well, I'm working off a September 18th plan. So
Was that ever submitted to the building department?
I believe so, but that's one of the things that they were gonna be checking after this meeting, and
What was the date on the plans that the planning board approved?
Again, I don't have that, they're researching all that information, and then I went on vacation, Frank, so I wasn't able to follow up.
Timing is everything.
But the project is moving along, and hopefully there'll be a meeting of the minds, and they will do what they need to do to correct their deficiencies. And there was just an issue with the gas main and the dumpster that they were afraid that they would hit the gas if they kept the dumpster where it was on the plan, so they wanted to move it. And Mike said, you can move it, but you gotta go back to the planning board.
Got it.
So you said there's not going to be pizza across from Hawthorne's Best?
No, it's going to be a video gaming with 3 couches and 3 TVs and some fried food.
And there's gonna be
chicken
mini
fingers.
pizzas.
I was gonna say, there's a red blinking light in
Yeah,
the
it's-
window that says pizza.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like frozen pizza that you put in a toaster oven. They're not really making or baking anything, warming up or deep frying something, that's it.
All right.
I think it was really more oven-made stuff that you just heat.
There's a new pizzeria moving into the rag shop where the Blimpie was.
Has
Correct.
not come to the planning board at the moment.
And
Unless
the
it-
rule is a like for like, because it's a
Okay.
restaurant.
Food for food, okay.
Basically, the new pizza restaurant is the former Hawthorne's Best Pizza.
I thought so.
So Blimpies is gone?
Blimpies is gone.
Well, the gaming with fried food
son, right?
is his son. So, told him it's very similar to the game cave, and they're okay with it. So, okay, good luck. Wish him well. So that concludes our council committee reports. We have correspondence. We have C1, new firefighter applications, Ryan Anderson to Rescue 5, Davius Bunch, and Nicholas Rosendale to Company 3. Have a motion. Motion by Bennett, second by Mealy. Any discussion? Roll call.
Watecki,
Abstain.
Sinning,
Yes,
Mealy.
Yes.
Lane,
Abstain.
Bennett,
Yes,
Matthews.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Bills, can I have a motion to approve the bills and then forward them to the treasurer for payment?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mealy, second by Sitting. Any question on any bills? Seeing none, roll call.
Bennett,
yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Mealy.
And abstain on the
Yes.
fire department and the ambulance corps.
Thank you.
Most.
Mealy,
Yes on all of them.
Sinning,
Gary?
Sitting, say yes, Gary.
yes,
Watecki,
Abstain on the fire department, yes on all other.
Matthews.
Yes on all.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Public comment. Now open the meeting to the public. If anyone desires to be heard, come forward to the microphone, state your name and address. You wish to be heard. All right, Victor, we've got a big crowd here, so we'll just let you come up today.
We could just take away the approval.
Matthew said drinks around Victor,
Good evening. Is it on?
Yes.
Oh, okay. First, I want to congratulate Lori and Lori,
Oh, thank you.
okay? Welcome. You guys are doing a fantastic job, okay?
Thank you.
Second, I want to congratulate all of you. You know, the way you conduct the town business, really, it's remarkable. There's no major issues. You put your time and effort into it, that the results are self-evident. Because life keeps us out of trouble. With that, thank you very much. Good evening.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Victor.
Does anyone else wish to be heard?
Make a motion.
Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion of the meeting?
So moved.
Motion by Lane, second by Sitting. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. On Joe's one eye. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Mealy, second by Sitting. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And the next regular meeting of municipal council is September 5th, 2018 at 7 PM. We're adjourned.
No, it's stupid.